Just go ahead and vote on both of them.
They both did? Okay. Vote for, to approve Ryan Walker's excused absence.
I move that we approve Ryan Walker's absence.
All right, second?
Second.
All right. And then Catherine White, same, for an excused absence.
Need another motion for that. I move that we approve Catherine's absence.
Yep. Second.
All right, thank you. Approval of agenda, was there anything that anyone wanted to add or agenda, or any things that got missed or anything? Nope? All good? All right, so a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
All right, second?
I second it.
All right. It's introduction of guests. Is Jay still coming?
So Jay had another conflict that came
Okay.
up. Might join us, so I think we can just kind of try to,
Go back?
make that work as we see fit.
Okay.
When and if they can show up, so.
Okay. All right. Citizen comments on non-agenda items. We don't have any other ones, right? Yeah, all right. Then we'll go straight into reports. A financial report.
Yep, and sorry that it's not up, a technical glitch on the screens, but I hope that everyone has it with them. I hope that everyone got their packet. Nothing has changed here since the last time, either in our revenue and expenses or in the O'Connor Fund realm. I guess kind of a side note, I was just speaking with Kyle before the meeting started, and I thought that it might be worth considering moving forward, probably not this year, but moving forward, picking up something, I don't know what they're called, but it's like what you use to spray pesticides around your yard. Those kind of drums that you pump, those might be nice to have. Might be nice to have for the grave cleanings, to spray off refuse and debris instead of just having to dump a bucket of dirty water over every time. So perhaps next year that's something we can look at, or we can look at when we're in the off season to be ready for the on season.
Yeah, I actually was thinking that too when I was there. Not that, I mean, it's really fun to dump a full bucket of water, but it would have helped a little bit to get into some of the little crevice pieces and knock some stuff loose with water. All right. Luis, was there anything else, or did anybody have any questions for Luis about financial report?
Does this roll over at the end of the year if we don't use it, or does it get swept?
That is something that I'll have to ask. I think that it does roll over, but I will need to ask with the financial folks about that. I want to say that it does roll over because I think that's how the reserve accounts were started in the first place, by having that happen.
I feel like it also does roll over, but I don't have a solid example of where I know that for sure.
Well, we had that discussion last year, in that we had to give money back because we decided last year that we would have no more than $5,000 in the account. So anything over $5,000, it goes into the O'Connor Fund. It goes back to the O'Connor Fund. But they're not sweeping anything because it's our money.
Not O'Connor Fund, from the city. So whether or not the city zeroes out a balance versus the O'Connor Fund, I think was your question.
Yeah, it was not the O'Connor Fund, but their general fund.
Right, but we agreed last year that $5,000 was the maximum amount that we'll keep in the general fund. And if we get rich and get over $5,000, it rolls back to the O'Connor Fund. It doesn't go back to the city because it's not the city's money. It goes back to the O'Connor Fund. But according to this, we won't make that this year. Last year, we had 21,000, and we gave that money back to O'Connor because of the interest. We were holding it, and it wasn't doing anything. So we gave it back so we can start earning interest on it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lene. Any other financial queries?
Didn't we vote to spend $100 or something for the award ceremony? Wouldn't that be operating supplies? There's a,
Yes, you're right. I need to get you a W-9, Regina.
Luis owes me a form. But yes, you're right.
That sounds like some money.
Yeah. Yeah, so that at this point, though, would be the only additional change, unless there's more supplies that we need for grave issues. All right. Next, diversity and inclusion. I know I have a sub number under there, but Lene and Fred, did you have anything that you wanted to talk about? You don't have to. I just wanted to
Yeah,
throw
we
it to you.
didn't really meet since last time. What we talked about last time is where
Yeah.
we're at.
Okay. All right. And I think, I cannot remember if I had a meeting set up last time or not, but end of this month, I'm going to be meeting with Lakota Hobai, who's the Tribal Historic Preservation Officer for the Gun Lake Band, and we're going to start meeting pretty regularly with with Keith Howard, who is on staff at KPL, and he'll be the one putting together the website presence for all of the text on, which has become expanded. The tribe is very interested in not just focusing on the reservation or the boundary markers, but looking holistically at early Potawatomi and other presence in Kalamazoo and in the area, and then also looking at the mound. So that stuff is ongoing, and I'm helping with whatever they need, which in this case is coordinating meetings right now and potentially digging up photos and images later. And then there still is conversation going back and forth between the city and the tribe for the signage to go around the mound in Bronson Park. That sat, last that I knew, with the tribe to discuss things from their end. We kind of ran into double years of cost increases that made the project beyond what was wanting to be taken on. So looking at how things can be made a little bit more cost effective and also still stay true to what the original vision for the tribe was for the space. So that's my report.
Is that something that we can support financially?
Yeah, we could. I don't know. As last, Jeff Chamberlain, city manager, was sending the bid documents to the tribal members because they wanted to review them. So I don't know what the dollar amounts look like or anything like that. But I can, when I talk to Lakota towards the end of this month, I can see if she has any updates on that, because we haven't had a meeting because the conversation has just been between the city and the tribe. So, but I can definitely see where it stands.
You know, what's Lakota's last name?
Hobai. So it's her now married name, but it's Hobia.
If possible, I'd like to join you on those meetings, or do you want to just keep the numbers down?
Oh, I mean, I can see a lot of that work the tribe is doing, so I'm just kind of like connecting points, but for sure. I'll email you
Okay.
after this. Anything else? Sorry, I'm writing a note. Good. Inventory and surveys. Luis?
I wasn't standing before. I think that Neil might have put up the video that I made with him, Neil Conway in communications here. That's kind of like a reintroduction to the survey. I also today got 2 or 3, I don't know what you call them, online form submissions for people that wanted to get involved with the survey, which I thought was good. It's the first time that I've had those happen in a while. So that's good to know, and I think that that's good progress. Hopefully, as the school year picks back up, that might pick back up with students who are looking for volunteer hours. I reached out to Western and submitted a volunteer opportunity through them, through their grad school stuff, so maybe we can get some interested parties there. Was talking with Patrick at the City Hall Local Historic District Study Report meeting as well, and I've heard back from IT. I think that we need to have a meeting with IT to discuss. Patrick asked some questions, and I think they were open to the idea of meeting with them as well, so we can discuss what we're going to do with the data once it's collected, right?
Yeah.
And figuring out what that looks like, so.
But the city already does have a dashboarding software program that is being implemented right now, which, right? That's
Sounds like, yes.
It's on its way at least, and that's something that we could potentially use so we wouldn't have to buy it ourselves, that's a big deal, actually. Because that stuff gets really expensive really quick.
I believe you, and I trust that you're telling the truth. I don't. I do not know.
If they let us have a license, then it saves us, $15,000. Like, that stuff is expensive.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right. So, meeting at some point with IT? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Was there anything else, or does anybody have questions for Luis? Still biggest help for survey is pushing the word out to everyone.
Yep, pushing and participating, so.
Yep, okay. Grave issues.
Kyle, would you want to take the lead on this one?
I can start.
Good.
So we had our first one, and some of you were there. Thank you. We compiled some photos. I don't know if you distributed those in any fashion, but
Yep, I just got them over. There was a second wave. Someone from Second Wave reached out and they wanted to do a story about it, so I sent the photos over that you sent me, so. Just of graves.
before and after in process. Yeah, we'll encourage people to take photos again. For our second one, which is Saturday morning, right now we only have 5 RSVPs outside of our group here, so probably be a little smaller than last time, but
But we still have time.
the city actually made sure that there's a porta potty available, so that's nice of them.
Dedicated one, I'm not sure, this will be something to work on in the future, but I don't think that they had de-weatherizing the bathroom on their minds, and now it doesn't really make a lot of sense as we move back into the cold times. So at least we will have some sort of facility there at this time. Yeah, I think the first one went good. I think it was fun and a good turnout the first time, and some good work was done. So hopefully we can engage some more folks and get a nice crowd again.
And I did tell Luis earlier, but I had the Girl Scouts Heart of Michigan respond to this email blast, so they said that they would spread the word, and they may not be able to RSVP since it's within the week, but hopefully we get some volunteers that way too.
Kyle, something rings a bell that we had to bring a bucket and a brush. Do we bring our own bucket and brush?
It's helpful. We have some, but I mean, we'll probably have enough if it's a small group, but
Yeah, and I
We
think that
encourage
people can
people.
also pair up and do 2 stones that are close to each other. I
Right.
mean, that you want the bucket right so you can have water, but I think if you're close to someone, you can make do with that in some capacity. If you have one, feel more than welcome to bring it, but don't go out and buy one just for this. If anything, bring an old toothbrush or don't throw away your popsicle
Is it a
sticks.
toothbrush you use or another kind of scrub brush? Toothbrush?
All sorts.
All
I mean, a
sorts.
toothbrush is fine for the
Detail.
fine detailing, but I think that in essence they're like bathroom brushes.
Fred, if you want, I have a bucket and brush from the last one in I stayed a little bit later. So if you want that, yeah, you could bring that one if you want it.
Yeah, I'll probably grab that from you.
Okay.
I know I've got one, but whether I find it real quick or not, but that's good.
Yeah. Well, that's great. So next one, this Saturday, still 9, right?
Yep.
9 to noon?
Yep.
Okay.
Be there, right?
Be there.
Yeah. No, I think that it's we met the goal then if we have these two, which I think is great, and I think hopefully we can keep engaging people. I think it's a great opportunity just to get kind of entry-level preservation experience. I found a lot of good readings just from looking at the materials and doing research on my own about treatment of stone and treatment of masonry as well. So I think it is a cool gateway into it.
Yeah, and the last time, there were, of course, it's a very active kind of walking area, especially now that that back gate on Forbes is a little bit more accessible. So I saw people like stopping and asking questions, and it was clear that it was a what is happening here sort of a question. So also good from that perspective that there was some visibility on site during the day. So
Yeah, Luis made sure to invite them to our next one.
good job, Luis.
Yes, I did.
All right. Does anybody have any questions or thoughts? And did you have any more on Grave Issue Squad? No? All right. Sustainability, grant making.
Yep, and this probably should have been changed to its own letter, so apologies for that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that we, unless I missed it, had a meeting since the last time, so I don't really have anything to report. I kind of forgot that Catherine wasn't going to be here, and I didn't know if Pam was going to be here to have anything to report either, but I think we're still in kind of a holding pattern.
Yeah, holding pattern while kind of questions out to people are being made for anyone who might be interested community-wide in serving as part of the review end of the committee.
Yep.
So,
Catherine did forward me a rough draft of like a timeline of what needs to happen, so I looked at that and sent her some notes, and that's just something we'll have to discuss when that subcommittee meets again.
Okay.
You may have seen Pam's message, but she talked me into doing a fictitious, and I'm in the process of, I've never written a grant before, so it's, when would you want that? My understanding is who's on the committee for grant writing? Who am I speaking with here? Do we have it?
me, Catherine, and Luis is there. Kyle has come on, but is more towards wanting to be involved in the review end of things, I think, at this point. Or Kyle's TBD, but it's,
I passed on writing the mock grant, so
yeah.
more power to you.
Well, yeah, and I think you can just send it to everyone. And as far as timetables go, I think that shooting for next month to have a draft done is fair, unless someone has a dissenting.
No.
That draft, have it done by next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause we don't have another.
She was going on, be gone on the 9th, and she said the end of September. That's,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it is quite an exercise. I've really,
Well, yeah, and if you want to sit down and talk about it too, if you've never written one, I think that there are resources to look at when you're writing the grant, ensuring that you don't assume that anyone that's reading it knows what you're writing about is a big thing, and then making your ask extremely clear and making sure that it aligns with the granting opportunity.
if I can come in sometime and meet with you on that.
Yeah, we could certainly talk about it.
Okay.
Just, I mean, I wouldn't talk with you, I don't think, about the meat and potatoes of it, so I can remain impartial while looking at the mock of it, but I think that
I'll put,
what goes on into a grant, and just kind of what to, I think, you could hone in on and I know that making a mock grant is an exercise in and of itself because you're not actually asking for the money, so.
Right, and you're supposed to get contractors, quotes, and the contractor's not gonna spend time messing around with your mock grant.
No, and I think that you
I
could,
don't know, I did get people, I've talked to
Yep.
people, and I've made up the contractor's grant.
yep. And I think that's fine, so I think you're certainly on the right path with that.
Okay,
Yeah, and thank you for taking that on too. I think it's kind of perfect that you don't have experience, because I think that is going to be a lot of people stepping into the process won't necessarily have experience with it.
Yeah, and it just
potentially,
occurred to
so-
me too, we might need more than one. Right.
To review?
I guess just having more than one mock grant we might need, because just having one, I don't know, what are you gonna judge it against then there's no qualitative way to understand what we're looking for, I guess.
Well, I mean, we can talk about it. We're not going to meet for a little while anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, because you could always write in one that you know is gonna be we're not looking for this one as a control, or take one that's from an analogous program to put in there too. I think that having a couple might be beneficial, but we can certainly talk about it.
All right. Any other conversation about grant making for now? No? All right. Oh, how?
I don't have anything to report, but if you do, Renee.
So I don't know if I mentioned last time that I did meet with Sharon and Kurt Artema, and we went to my house and wasn't good. Went to his houses, he has like 4, they weren't good. Because she's looking for a house that has the weight and, I don't want to say string and ball, but you know what I mean. Anyway, she's looking for that, and the ones that we had were the pins. So I did tell her that, Louis, that you had someone interested in the Vine neighborhood, and she said if you could give her the address, she'll go by and look at it and see if those windows are good. But if not, she's looking at it's gonna get pushed back to December, because she says she has a few that they can do from the inside.
Okay. And I've talked with her about the property, and she's familiar with the property in Vine, so I can jog her memory about it as well.
Okay.
I mean, they are double hung, but they're certainly not pulley. They just have pegs. I know that that's a big thing, but I think it's something we can still explore to look at, so.
Yeah, so my house has the pins or the pegs or what have you, and she wasn't interested in that because she says is one of the demonstrations she wants to do to show how to repair those.
Yep.
And how to get to the sash and things, and those windows don't always have the sash.
Yeah, they don't always have the sash weights, but I think it's still something that we can,
we've got those sash windows at our house, and I had Sharon look at them, because it's part of that mock grant that I'm writing, is repair X amount of windows. And some of the ropes have been cut on some, and a couple of them work, and some are painted shut. But you're looking for something to open up this fall and work on right away?
So I think the group agreed that we wanted to do a presentation. The original deadline was October. I don't know if we're gonna make October, but she says that she could probably come up with something by December. And the issue is, I mean, that's great if you want to do it at your house, but you have strangers running through your house. I don't know how you feel about that. And
Cats would be
usually,
the only ones who would protest.
huh?
The cats would be the only ones who would
Yeah, and the only thing is, the last time we had a presentation on windows, we were at the Sexton Lodge, and it was like 20, 25 people there. I mean, that's kind of a hot topic,
Yeah.
so I don't know if you want all those people in your house.
If it was warm weather, we've got the grounds for it, and the living room wouldn't hold 20 people, but it would hold 12, probably.
So that's why she was looking for specifically a home that is vacant.
Oh, okay.
So, because, they get in there and start tearing up your house, like, what are you doing?
Stewart Mansion next door to us. That is vacant. I mean, it's got windows that need work. It's got a whole house that needs work, but I don't think we get on the grounds.
Probably not, no.
Not legally, at least.
All right, so
Sharon
next
knows
step,
about that.
yeah. Next steps would be jogging Sharon's memory.
Yeah, we said to
Okay.
wait. The people that own that house, I think, are still out of state, so waiting for them to get back into state to work on their home.
Okay. All right. Anything else for OHAL?
Nope.
All right. Old and new business. No? Does
Nothing.
anybody have anything they forgot about and want to bring up now? No? All right. Approval of meeting notes from August 10th.
Well, I think I beat everyone this time. I found
Found
a
stuff?
few. Did you want to?
Yeah, I'll just do mine. It's towards the end, under, what is the Roman numeral of that one? The page is all goofed up. It's right below, do I have the right page? How am I doing this? No, that wasn't in the notes, or is this the notes from last time? I think it was.
Yeah, and I had a question about that, but going from the beginning, Ryan Walker, you might want to put that closed parentheses there. I'm doing a Kyle.
Oh,
I'm a big girl. And then move over to, well, first of all, this is 7, oh, okay. So 7, F, the moved, established, and G, those lines need to be pushed over, being picky. And then the Powell and determine need to be pushed over under G. And then also, did you agree to get on the, I don't remember that.
yeah.
Oh, I must have been
But
asleep.
there's a typo in it.
Yeah, they said
That
they.
he was.
Yeah, it should be he.
Instead of they were.
Right. And then, under 8A, Pena stated that he would receive, okay, that's my error. White moved to approve the recommended nomination.
Or is it approved to recommend the nomination?
Oh, well, however.
Yeah. But I see what you mean.
Oh, two instead of the,
Yeah.
move to approve the
I think I got them all. Beat you to it, Kyle.
How many more did you find?
well, how does that get worded then?
I don't know, however they
Like,
want.
Jane, on the last one, you just, how does that sentence, work? White moved to approve, recommend the nomination, White moved,
To approve to recommend the nomination.
so two twos?
Well, that's how I auto-fixed it in my head when I read it, because I didn't even see that it was a mistake.
I didn't look at the pages next to each other, but now that I am, I see it goes A, B, B, C, F, G.
I knew something was off. I'm like, something's not right. All right, Kyle, I'll give it back to you.
9A, White said pointed out, or just White pointed out, maybe? I don't know, said seems
Oh,
odd. And technically, we said it would be the 10th or the 17th for the next cleaning, instead of and, we're not doing both. We're not there last weekend. And it is Mountain Home Cemetery, all parts should be capitalized, that's the name of it, right? I think that's all I marked.
solid job, everyone. Sorry, Luis.
No problem.
All right, motion to approve the meeting notes as updated.
I move to approve the minutes.
All right, second?
I second it.
All good? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I can't remember if we do that. I was having a brain lapse moment where I was like, I feel like we do it for the meeting notes. Coordinators report.
Yep. Not much of note, really. Looks like the numbers are up a little bit from this year from last year for cases and reviews done locally. The math is wrong on the one. It should be 59 instead of 5. So comparable-ish, I guess, up about 14 numbers, cases or situations where reviews had to be done. In the Section 106 world, numbers are also rather comparable, up 3 from last year. So I don't think that's really anything of note. And then again, still just looking for volunteers for doing the survey work. So if you guys want to volunteer, if you guys know people that want to do the volunteerism is a great thing. And that's all that I have.
All right. Thank you, Luis.
Yep.
Do you want, has Jay?
No
Okay.
contact.
So citizen comments on non-agenda items? None. All right. Any commissioner comments? Okay. There was a blank page. That is Kyle's comment. All right. Any other ones? You don't have to. I just want to make sure that everybody has time. Good? All right. Move to adjourn. Anyone?
So moved.
All right.
That was slick.
That was pretty slick.
Did we have enough for a quorum? 2, 4, 5, 5 on. 4.
Thank